Here is another example of solving quadratic equation with a leading coefficient by using the completing the square method. So by now you know that we have to divide out these three onto every single term. Okay, so here is the 3 divided into every single term, and the 3 divided by 3 is 1, 4 divided by 3 is 4 divided by 3, 8 divided by 3 is 8 divided by 3, 0 divided by 3 is 0. And now the next thing is to move this 8 divided by 3, 8 thirds, into the other side, which is still no big deal. So far so good. And now we put blanks so that we can fill the blank with some values that will complete this square. Okay, we put blanks on both sides. And now we figure out the blanks. This is how you figure out the blank to put. This is how we got 4/9. So we do 4 thirds. We take a half of that. We get 4/6, which reduces to 2 thirds. Okay, I'm going to keep that because we're going to need that for later on. Remember, that's going to be needed later on. That's 2 thirds. After that, we're going to square it. So we're going to square 2 thirds squared. And that's how we got 4/9. Because 2 squared is 4 and 3 squared is 9. So that's our b squared, b over 2 squared. And that's our b right here, 4 thirds. 4 thirds divided by 2 times 1/2 squared, and then we get 4/9. Okay, that's how we got 4/9. Now the next thing is to simplify the right side of this. We're not going to waste time because we already did that a lot in the previous 2 examples. So you might need to go back and watch those 2 previous videos where I show you how to add the fractions and how to complete the square, how to write this. So we're just going to go quickly because I assumed you have watched example 4 and 5. Okay, so when you add 8 thirds to 4/9 you get 28/9. And then this, when you factor this, you will get, using the pattern, this is a hex, and then a half of this was 2 thirds. That was from the previous screen. A half of this is 2 thirds. That's what we got right here. So the next thing is to take square root of both sides, and don't forget the plus minus. All right, and then you have square root of 28 divided by square root of 9. All right, which is going to be 28. Square root of 28 will be 2 square root of 7, and square root of 9 will be 3. We'll see that in the screen. So here is taking the square root, and here is breaking it up into 2 square root of 7. That is square root of 28 is 2 square root of 7. If you are wondering how that is done, square root of 28 is really square root of 4 and square root of 7, which is 2 root 7. Okay, and that's how we got that 2 root 7 over there. And then now you can just move these 2 thirds to the other side. So these 2 thirds come to the other side, becomes plus 2 thirds. And because you have the same denominator of 3 and 3, you can just keep it as 3. And then you add the numerator together. The final step is to separate this into 2, which will look something like, I'm going to show you just now. It's going to look something like this. So it's going to look something like this. 2 minus 2 root 7 divided by 3, comma, 2 plus 2 root 7 divided by 3. This is a very last example, and then we're done. We're done really now. So hopefully you've learned a lot by watching these 3 examples. Remember, you can always go back and watch these examples over and over again and pause and make sure you wrap your mind around it. And if there's any question you still have about the video, please let me know when you come to class tomorrow or other time. I'll be glad to answer your questions. All right, hopefully you got something out of this and it helped you a little bit.